أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له.
For many members of the Ahmadiyya community, the Jalsa Salana is one of the highlights on their calendar. 30,000 people descended on the Hampshire countryside. The three-day convention was both religious and spiritual, an opportunity for Ahmadis to renew their pledge to God and to show the world that Islam is a religion of peace, and a chance to spread their message: love for all, hatred for none.
The Jalsa is now more than 100 years old. It was founded to bring the community together to learn more about Islam, more about religion, and also to have a social bonding effect that brings the community together. And what we find today, more than 100 years on, is now in the UK, an international event, and you would have seen it brings the community together, the Ahmadiyya Muslim community together, not just from different parts of the United Kingdom, but different parts of the world. So we truly have an event where we learn from people around the world and where we meet people and strengthen our ties with them from around the world as well.
The annual Jalsa Salana is organised by the Ahmadiyya Muslim Association. It's been held for the past 45 years in the UK. For the last 5 years, the 210-acre site in Alton has been home to the mammoth gathering.
It's a huge commitment. You can see that we are holding it on an agricultural arable land, and we actually erect these massive facilities here. We have a 28 days period where we erect everything, we prepare everything, and then we actually dismantle and leave the land as it was. And you can see the equipment. There are more than 200 marquees here. And this marquee which you can see here right behind you, it's not a marquee, it's a building. This is men's marquee. This holds something like about 7,000 people. And then we have got ladies marquee. The proportion of ladies is a little bit more than men actually, something like about 55% ladies and children, and then 45% men.
The Union flag was hoisted, a symbolic gesture to show loyalty to Britain.
You can talk all the talk you like, it's practice, and practice is here. If you come here, we welcome people, they can see how we practice our Islam. Islam is a beautiful religion. You can see it working because there's nothing we do here that is un-Islamic. We offer our 5 daily prayers, we eat halal food, there's parda between the men and the women, and when we invite our guests, as you can see them walking around, many English guests come here from around the area and around the country, and when they see that the practice of Islam is actually love and kindness, and really, you know, it creates a peaceful order, and there's nothing more to Islam than that. It's to create harmony in society, and we're trying to spread this message by practicing that in this conference.
Visitors came for a variety of reasons, some just for one day, others for the entire weekend.
It's one way of developing the brotherhood, the peaceful brotherhood, and uplifting my iman or my faith by sharing the problems with the other friends who have got problems, and by learning more from those who know.
It's mostly just for sort of spiritual, uplifting experience, see everyone that you haven't managed to see for the rest of the year, and just generally have a get-together and talk about, you know, spiritual and religious things.
All of those people, even if they come just for one day, they have an opportunity to as I say, refresh their spirituality, and to refocus again on the religion. And I think, you know, for some people it'll take longer than for others. Maybe they just need to come one day, others they need the 3 days. For me personally, I come for the whole event because I find it's such a short time actually. 72 hours is very short. So I like to come for the whole thing, and I really enjoy it.
I was born into this community, and so it's been from childhood. Every year we saw our parents go, we went, and it's innate in us that we want to attend this. The founder of our community said that these 3 days are a very special event, and a lot of blessings and prayers have been done for the people who come here.
One of the highlights was the formation of a human chain to reaffirm the rejection of violence and extremism. The reputation of Islam has been tarnished over the years by hardline groups carrying out atrocities both here and abroad.
Whenever these things are committed by some Muslims, media tends to highlight it quite a lot. And in fact, now we have actually carried out a survey to try to get to the bottom of why this Islamophobia is present and what are the factors behind it.
The worldwide leader of the Ahmadi Muslims condemned the persecution of the community. In recent times, Ahmadis have been attacked and killed in Pakistan and Indonesia. One man travelled especially from Pakistan to the UK to participate in the Jalsa Salana. He told Pukaar News it would be impossible to organise something like this in his home country.
They used to take place before Ziaul Haq pronounced, he passed a law whereby we could not say Assalamu Alaikum, we could not say, we could not practice our faith. Before that, yes, and I still remember I was very young, we used to go there. For 3 days we used to give duty, we used to enjoy it, we used to enjoy eating, hearing, meet a lot of people. Yes, no more. I think it's 29 years, no more.
But it seems life is relatively easier in other Muslim countries.
In Jordan and in many of the Arab countries, the situation is not so bad, which means you can live as an Ahmadi. You are facing some social challenges and some harassment here and there, but still it is unlike Pakistan, unlike some other places.
For those who were unable to visit, the prayers, the meetings and the proceedings were beamed globally into homes by satellite. People from all walks of life attended.
I think what the community does, it may not grab the headlines because it's not one of extremes, it's not one of violence or book burnings, which are all removed from Islam, but of projecting Islam not only as a tolerant faith, but one that understands and works with other communities, indeed of people of no faith, for the betterment of communities, for the betterment of society, and one hopes for the betterment of the world as well.
Well, I'm attending really because I have a community of Ahmadis who live in my constituency in southwest Surrey in Islamabad, and they are wonderful citizens for me to have in my constituency, and the Jalsa used to be in southwest Surrey, so I have that kind of personal link, and thanks to that I've got to know a little bit more about the Ahmadi community and what they stand for, and it's a big privilege for me to come today.
Ahmadis from almost 100 countries participated, including a senior politician from Sweden.
Ahmadiyya movement is a peace-loving movement and working very hard against extremism. And we have to be more politicians should attend this kind of event.
And non-Ahmadi Muslims were keen to return and encourage people of all faiths to sample the peace and tranquility.
I think it's a marvelous event. I think we must accept the motto has great deal of resonance and has got great deal of meaning. We must emphasize similarities between people, love for all. And it's important that we maintain the dialogue, interfaith dialogue, and that is something we all have a responsibility to fulfill.
More than 3,000 volunteers were on hand to help with everything from traffic control to hospitality. All the food was prepared on site. In total, 50,000 meals were made, and as you can imagine, there were 1 or 2 hurdles to overcome.
This year we brought all our kitchen from Islamabad, the other side, and brought it here. So that logistically that was a very major exercise for us, and of course it grows every year in the numbers that attend. So yes, it's a challenge throughout.
Similar conventions are held in all 4 corners of the world, including Sweden, Ghana, Canada and Fiji, to name but a few. Here in the UK, preparations are already underway for next year's Jalsa Salana.
Ahmadiyya community's message of love for all, hatred for none.
في هذه الدنيا وبس إنساني بدرگاه ذیشان خیر الانام شفیع الورا مرجع خاص عام بسد جزو منت بسد احترام یہ کرتا ہے عرض आपका एक गुलाम कि ऐशा कौन है